In the previous class we have discussed what is the series combination of resistors. Now today let us discuss the parallel combination of resistors. So let us see here. So we have taken three resistors R1, R2, R3. They are connected across A and B points. Okay. R1 is between A to B, R2 is between A to B, R3 is also between A to B. If the resistors are connected between two same points or the two same potential differences, then the resistors are said to be in parallel. What is the main property of a parallel combination of resistors? They should be connected between two same points or they should have same potential difference. Then they are said to be in parallel. Okay. Now, individually their resistances are R1, R2, R3. What about the total combination resistance? That is we call effective resistance. For that, if you observe this, total potential difference applied is V by the battery. The power supply will be giving a totally current I. That I current divides into three parts as I1, I2, I3 through the R1, R2, R3 respectively. Now, what we have to find out is R effective of this complete combination, total combination resistance, let us call it as RP. Okay. For that, if you observe, the total current I divides as three parts. Therefore, we can write that I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3. According to Ohm's law, total current can be written as V by R. So that is V by R, which are complete circuit resistance, which we call effective resistance, that is RP. And I1 is V by R1, I2 is V by R2, I3 is V by R3. Because across the each resistor same potential difference is there, which is equal to the supply voltage. So here V gets cancelled. So we have 1 by Rp is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. From this formula Rp we get as effective resistance for these three resistors. Okay. Now here if you look at the three resistors, for these three resistors potential differences ratio is 1:1:1 because they are at same potential differences. So potential difference ratio is 1:1:1. Whereas currents ratio I1:I2:I3 will be V by R1 is to V by R2 is to V by R3. So V is same for all resistors. Therefore, what is the ratio of currents? 1 by R1 is to 1 by R2 is to 1 by R3. Reciprocals of their resistances is the currents ratio. Okay. Now, here for three resistors we have taken as an example and total effective resistance we have calculated, that is RP. Okay. In case there are more number of resistors, then in the same way we can write that the effective resistance 1 by Rp is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus so on 1 by Rn, if there are many number of resistors connected in parallel. And if that many number of resistors are identical, n identical resistors are connected, okay, then for these n identical resistors, what will be the effective resistance 1 by Rp? Here R1, R2, R3 all are them are equal to R, let us say, then it is 1 by R plus 1 by R plus 1 by R so on n times. So it will become n by R. Therefore, Rp will be R by n. Total effective resistance, if individual each resistance is R, like that n number of resistors are connected in parallel, then Rp is equals to R by n. Okay. And here Let us take mostly used formulae. What are mostly used formulas? Generally, two resistors will be connected in parallel or three resistors will be connected in parallel. If suppose two resistors are connected in parallel, only two resistors are connected in parallel, what will be the formula for two resistors? Okay, is 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. 1 by Rp equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. From this, if you simplify this, we get Rp as R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2 for two resistors. Okay. If there are three resistors, we have seen as a formula as 1 by Rp equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So, that is for three resistors. Directly Rp can be written as R1, R2, R3 by R1, R2 plus R2, R3 plus R3, R1. So, mostly the two or three resistors will be given in parallel. For them, two resistors this formula, three resistors this formula we had to use. And in case of n identical parallel resistors are there, R by n. Okay. So, another important point what we have to notice, how to observe that the resistors are in series or parallel is, in series previously we have discussed, current passing through them should be same, okay, and parallel means potential difference for the resistors should be same, okay, that is the main point. Now, based on these 2 points, series and parallel combinations, let us see how the questions will be given. Here, suppose we have three resistors connected in this way, that is R1, R2, R3 between A and B points. We should find out the effective resistance from A to B. The effective resistance is nothing but they are clearly appearing as series. When they are appearing clearly as a series, then R effective from A to B is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay? But look at this next one, the important one, that is if the resistors are connected like this and there are two zero resistance wires are connected in this way across this combination, resistors are connected with this two another additional zero resistance wires are connected in this way, then what is the effective resistance from A to B? Okay. Now, if you look at them, there is no component from here to here, no resistor, no capacitor, no coil. So, therefore, the same potential whatever is there here also it will be having same potential. So, potential at this place let us call it as A potential, here also it will be A potential, and till here there are no components. So, here no component, here also no component. So, from this point onwards up to here there are no components, only a zero resistance wire is there, therefore, it will maintain same potential until here. Similarly, here is a B potential, therefore, here also let us call B is the potential here, here B potential, here also B potential, here B potential and here also B potential, because throughout this there is no resistance. Okay. Now, if you look at the R1, R2 and R3, the three resistors are across same points A to B, A to B, A to B. If the resistors are connected between two same points or the resistors are connected across the same potential difference, we say that they are in parallel. So, now these resistances are in parallel. If they are in parallel, total effective resistance for three resistors, what we have just now written formula, R1, R2, R3 by R1, R2 plus R2, R1, R2, R3 plus R3, R1 is effective resistance of this combination. If these are not there, these zero resistance wires are not there, they are in series. Due to that zero resistance wires, they are in parallel. Okay? Or here they may be asking the question in this way, that is 4 resistors are taken, these 4 resistors are identical resistors, means their resistances are equal. How they are connected is as the sides of a square, they are connected as a sides of a square. they form a square. If they are connected like this, then the resistance across diagonally opposite corners, total resistance value across the diagonal opposite corners we have to calculate. Okay. So here let us call this point as A, this point as B. From A to B total resistance we have to find out. If you look at this figure, in this which are in series, which are in for parallel, let us separately observe. So here across the diagonally opposite corners we have to find out the effective resistance. For that, if you look at this here, A to B along this path, these two resistors are in series, continuously connected, and separately these two resistors also in series. So the effective resistance of these two series resistors is 2R. Okay, and these two resistors are also in series. So what will be the resistance of them? 2R. Now this circuit can be drawn as in this way, that is a resistance and one more resistance between these 2 points, that is A point and B point. What are resistances here? 2R, 2R. Now the 2R is between A to B and another 2R also between A to B. So therefore the 2R are in parallel. Therefore effective resistance is R by N formula we had previously. If the resistors are identical, total resistance in parallel combination is what? R by N. So R means each resistance. Here each resistance is 2R. By N, how many resistors are there? 2 combinations. So N is 2. Therefore effective resistance is also R. So across the diagonally opposite corners, resistance is R. In the same question, suppose the resistance is asked from one corner to another corner, that is adjacent corners. If the resistance is asked from A to B, the B is adjacent corner. So across adjacent corners, what will be the total effective resistance? So for that, if you look at these 3 resistors now up to B, from A to B, these 3 resistors are in series. So A to B, these 3 resistors are in series, becomes 3R, and A to B, one more resistance R is also there. Therefore you can say that the resistance 3R is from A to B, and another resistance directly R is also from A to B. So this combination total resistance means 2 resistances are in parallel, not identical. For that, what is the resistance formula we have seen previously? Effective resistance for 2 resistors is R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. R1 is 3R, R2 is R, by 3R plus R, 4R. So therefore, what will be the effective resistance? 3R by 4. Okay. Let us take another example. Suppose a wire is there. The wire is bent into circular shape. This wire has a total resistance of R for complete. Now across 2 points A to B, we should find out the resistance. Whenever resistance is asked across any 2 points, then that 2 points means where the current connection should be given in between these two. Then here the information which will be given is like this. The sector forming by this A and B at the center O makes an angle theta, suppose. Okay, it forms an angle theta. Then this first part, let us call it as resistance R1. This another part, let us call it as R2. So you can call it as ACB part, and this is ADB part. These 2 resistors are between A and B only. Therefore they are in parallel. First let us calculate what is the only R1 resistance. Here we should observe that entire wire has a resistance R. Entire wire means for what angle? 2 pi angle, 360 degree. So for 2 pi angle, resistance is R, and R1 is for theta angle. For theta angle, what we are considering? R1. Therefore from this what you can say, R1 is equals to cross multiplying R into theta by 2 pi, because resistance is linearly depending on the length, so therefore we can take linear dependence. And what about R2 resistance? R2 resistance covers remaining angle. What is the remaining angle? 2 pi minus theta. Then from this again, for total 2 pi angle, resistance is R, and R2 resistance is for what angle? 2 pi minus theta angle, resistance is R2. Therefore, R2 how can we write? R into 2 pi minus theta by 2 pi. How these two resistors R1 and R2 are there between two same points A to B? Therefore, effective resistance is R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. Means R1 R2 we should substitute here in this. Okay? R1 into R2, these two we multiply, that is R into theta by 2 pi into R into 2 pi minus theta by 2 pi by R1 plus R2 is nothing but indirectly the entire resistance. Entire resistance is nothing but R we have taken. So one of the R gets cancel. So you will be getting this as R into theta into 2 pi minus theta by 4 pi square. Here a resistance of R is bent in the form of a circle, and we have to find out the resistance across 2 points A and B which subtend an angle theta at the center. Then remaining part will be covering the angle 2 pi minus theta. So therefore the resistances are in parallel. The effective resistance will be this one. Okay? So that is in case of wire connecting in a circular shape. Okay? Regarding these resistances, we have one term called as temperature coefficient of resistance, shown by alpha symbol. Okay? Means resistance of any material depends on temperature. As the temperature changes, its resistance changes. Okay? How does the resistance changes is, resistance at 0 degree Celsius, at 0 degree Celsius resistance let us call it as R0, and at T degree Celsius the resistance let us call it as RT. Okay? Now here we have a term called as temperature coefficient of resistance. It is defined as RT minus R0 by R0 into T for a small changes in temperature range. Okay? So when the temperature ranges are small, then temperature coefficient of resistance is defined as RT minus R0 by R0 T. What are the symbols representing? R0 is a resistance but at 0 degree Celsius, RT is a resistance at T degree Celsius. Okay? Then this is what we call it as alpha. Here this alpha unit is degree Celsius inverse or degree or Kelvin inverse. What is the SI unit of it? Degree Celsius inverse or Kelvin inverse is a SI unit. Okay? Now here if resistance at 0 and T degree Celsius are these, with the help of this you can write that at any temperature at T1 degree Celsius resistance if it is R1, and at T2 degree Celsius resistance is R2, then 0 degree Celsius to T1 degree Celsius we can write this equation, that is alpha as R1 minus R0 by R0 into T1. From what temperature to what temperature? 0 to T1 degree Celsius. Same way 0 to T2 degree Celsius, same alpha can be written as R2 minus R0 by R0 T2. Using these two equations, eliminating the R0, we get it as R2 minus R1 by R1 T2 minus R2 T1 also. Temperature coefficient of resistance is basically defined from 0 to certain T degree Celsius. Using that, from any T1 temperature to T2 temperature, we can give that alpha as R2 minus R1 by R1 T2 minus R2 T1. Here small t1, small t2s are Celsius values. If Kelvin values are given, we should convert into Celsius and substitute here. Okay. If resistance is changed with respect to the temperature for the materials, then its resistivity also changes. Okay. And in the same way, as we have given, alpha can be written as rho t minus rho 0 by rho 0 into t in terms of resistivity. Okay. Or in this way, the alpha can be written as rho 2 minus rho 1 by rho 1 T2 minus rho 2 T1. That is temperature coefficient of resistance in terms of resistivity. And coming to the different materials, there are many materials which will be having alpha value differently. Here, there are three types of materials we have. For some of the materials, alpha value is positive, and for some materials alpha value is 0, for some materials alpha value is negative. Which materials have alpha value positive? Means metals or some alloys also. Okay. What does that alpha value positive indicate? Means as the temperature is increasing, their resistance also increases. As temperature increases, resistance increases, or if temperature decreases, resistance decreases. Then their alpha value will become a positive number. Okay. For example, metals or few alloys. Okay. There are certain materials which will be having alpha value 0. What does it mean? Alpha value 0 means RT minus R0, this cross multiplication gives 0, RT minus R0 equal to 0, RT equal to R0 means at 0 degree Celsius whatever the resistance the material has, at T degree Celsius also same resistance it has. So there is no change in the resistance of that material. Even though temperature is changing, increasing or decreasing, resistance remains same, resistance is not changing. Which materials will be having this? Okay. So for this best example is manganese. Manganese material will never change its resistance even though temperature is increased or decreased. Okay. Constantan also will be not changing its resistance. That is the reason why the manganese wire is used in the standard measuring instruments or standard resistances. This manganese wire is used. So we are going to see in the coming topic meter bridge, a wire will be used called as manganese wire because its resistance is always same. Okay. There are certain materials whose resistance will decrease when the temperature is increased. They will have alpha value negative. Okay. So that is here as the temperature increases, their resistance decreases. Okay. Or if temperature decreases, resistance increases. Okay. Best example are semiconducting materials, semiconductors. Okay. So for them, as the temperature go on increasing, their resistance decreases because in that free charge carriers number will increase or conduction increases, resistance decreases. But there will be some questions which will be asked on decreasing the temperature also. So one of the question will have like this, that is we have aluminium and germanium. So in this question, two materials are given, one is aluminium, another is germanium. If they are cooled, what happens to their resistance? That will be the question. Okay. So for that, aluminium, if you observe, it is a metal, whereas germanium is a semiconducting material. So they are cooled, cooled means temperature is decreased. So we have seen here for metals, as the temperature decreases, resistance increases, whereas for semiconductors, as temperature decreases, resistance increases. So aluminum resistance decreases, germanium resistance increases. So we will have 4 sentence based options. In that, what you have to choose? Resistance of aluminum decrease and resistance of germanium increase. Okay. So that is temperature coefficient of resistance related. And we will have an instrument called as thermistor. Okay. We will have an instrument called as thermistor. What is this thermistor is? It is heat sensitive resistor. Means as the heat is falling on this material, its resistance will be changing. So based on that resistance change, we can find out some values. Like for example here, if this thermistor, if you observe, it is generally a semiconductor material oxide. Okay, oxide of semiconducting material will be taken. This will be made up of generally alpha value negative. Okay, and there are certain thermistors which are having alpha value positive also. Here, whenever heat is incident on it, its resistance will change. So with the help of this formula, temperature you can find out, or rate of heat flow you can find out. So that is the reason why this thermistor is used in some situations, like in the electric circuits. It is used to know the fluctuations taking place in the currents, okay, by observing the changes taking place in its resistance. And in the microwave oven, the rate of flow of heat, how much amount of energy is flowing through that oven, we can find out using this thermistor. Okay. So thermistor is a combination of resistance which is heat sensitive. Okay. So that is for today. So in the coming topic, in the tomorrow's class, we discuss the cells and related things. Okay.